What's good, internet? It's your boy here, and today we'll be at it again with another review. Today we'll be reviewing Dying Light 2 Stay Human. This game is a 2022 action role-playing game development published by Techland. Plot-wise, the game is set 22 years after Dying Light, so the zombie outbreak in Haran ended with the death of all city citizens with no report survivors. However, the GRE is able to develop a vaccine for the Haran virus, ending the threat of the zombie pandemic. But unfortunately, despite the promises to seize the Haran virus, the GRE continue experimenting on the virus in secret. In 2021, a mutated variant of the Haran virus escapes the GRE lab and starts a second pandemic that spreads even faster than the first, quickly sweeping across the entire world in an event called the Fall. The vaccine and the antigen are ineffective against the new strain of the Haran virus, but the effects can be suppressed with a UV light. By 2036, 15 years after the Fall, much of the world population has been wiped out. Human civilization has been reduced to a handful of scattered human settlements, with the walled fictional European city of Villedor being one of the last known remaining cities on Earth. So it's up to the main protagonist Aiden Caldwell as he decides to make the journey to Villedor in order to search for his lost sister Mia. So that is enough about the plot. Let's talk about the overall gameplay. So the game is set in the city of Villedor, a massive urban open world set in Europe that you could explore freely. The map, in which is 4 times bigger than the original game, is broken into 7 district regions, and each has its own landmark and locations, in which you can perform actions such as climbing ledges, sliding, leaping off from edges, and wall running to quickly navigate through the city with their brand new momentum system. And using tools such as the grappling hook and paraglider made it way more easier to travel through the city. But the one thing that I don't like the momentum system, if you freaking mess up once, and I mean once, it is over for you. You are screwed. The amount of times that I got fucked over by the momentum system is freaking ridiculous, dog. And at times it could get really, really brutal. I just like that the fact that it doesn't shake your hand. It's just that the fact that it's just so brutal. So freaking brutal, dog. But anyways, the game is mostly a melee based game, which majority of the fighting is used by melee weapons. The melee weapons have a limit lifespan and it will degrade as you use them in combat. The long range weapons, however, such as the crossbow, shotgun, and spear can be used as well. The weapon can be upgraded with different blueprints and components which can be found by breaking down weapons for crafting parts. And naturally, the more that you play through the game, the more that you will be able to utilize superhuman skills due to the infection. And speaking of that, they also have this brand new immunity system. So as you explore through the city, you will find these things called inhibitors, which can be used to increase your health and stamina. But not only does it increase your health and stamina, it also increases the amount of time that you can spend in the night. And I'm sorry, I completely cannot stand this system. This system was more than an annoyance than anything. Let me give you a good example. The fact that I was in a dark zone and I literally have to stop what I was doing to run back to a UV spot, go to sleep twice, and then go back to the dark zone and complete it. It was just freaking annoying. And it was way worse in the beginning of the game. Of course, naturally, if you play through the game, it will get better, but it was just too annoying, dude. I'm sorry. I get that they're trying to add new mechanics to make the game more challenging than the first one, but the fact that it wasn't even implemented in the first game, it kind of bugged me a little bit. But the good thing that I can say about the game, they added more zombie variants just like the last game, and the zombies are slow when exposed to sunlight, but they'll become more aggressive and hostile at night. And oh my god, when I say good night and good luck, bro, good night and good luck, bro. When you go outside at night, it is a completely different experience. They are hostile. They are made to kill. The best advice that I can give you is to stay on the rooftops. And even I don't even know if that's guaranteed, because some of the zombies literally are in those buildings in the rooftops. Another positive that I have to say about the game is there are a lot, and I mean there are a lot of stuff to do in that freaking game. I mean Assassin's Creed Odyssey type of things to do in that game. There are so much to do, you can't keep up with all of it. Let me give you a couple of examples. You could do windmill jumping puzzles, you could go and complete combat and parkour challenges, you could collect the inhibitors that is stored all over the city. You could literally assign the remaining water towers and electrical stations to a certain faction that you like. There is just endless amounts of things to do in that game. Your mind will just be all over the freaking place. In a good way, of course. And I almost forgot about the freaking dialogue and choices that you make in the game. The consequences are far-reaching, and you will be able to bring prosperity to a faction while completely destroying another settlement. Making certain decisions open up or seal off areas in the city, adding replayability to the game. And on top of that, you could also play with your friends if you like, but this is where I come across another problem. You can't even do that, especially in day one. The fact that the game wasn't cross-platform from jump kind of bummed me out the wrong way. And on top of that, there are a crazy amount of freaking glitches in the game, so we wasn't even able to enjoy the multiplayer. And even though they fixed the multiplayer with the day one patch, they didn't completely fix everything. Examples, I was consecutively running through buildings, walls, and literally one time I literally fell under the map. Majority of the cutscenes, even in the main story, I wasn't even able to enjoy or understand because it was broken. And in certain cases when I was fighting enemies, they literally freeze up on me in mid-game and then it literally repatched itself. I honestly really hope that they fix majority of these issues through patches, but I got so freaking tired of restarting my game, I just had to address it. Weirdly enough, the game worked flawlessly environmentally in a gameplay standpoint, and graphically the game is just freaking amazing, dog. The fact that they kept everything up to detail and everything to the freaking facial features of the characters, not even just simply that, just looking at the whole environment, leaves is falling, and I pay attention to that stuff, and that stuff is just nice. And I was more motivated to run around and parkour because of the soundtrack. The soundtrack was just completely fire, dog. I'm not gonna lie, some of them were questionable, but the rest of them, oh my, mwah. Beautiful. So I think that I covered mostly everything, so I'm gonna just hop on to the overview. So on the positive side of things, I love the overall plot and story. The overall gameplay was just freaking fantastic. Even though I did have problems with the momentum system, I still like it. The crafting is definitely fine. Definitely love the freaking skill tree. I like the different variants of zombies that's in the game. The game is definitely challenging. There are a lot of content in this game. The dialogue was just freaking fantastic in some cases. The multiplayer is fine now, so you're able to play multiplayer. Environmentally, the game is definitely good in a gameplay standpoint. Graphically, the game was just freaking beautiful, and I love the soundtrack completely. And on the negative side of things, the immunity system, I'm not really a big fan of, and there are a crazy amount of glitches and bugs in this freaking game. The game came out in February 4th, 2022. The game should be in most platforms, so Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and PC, and it should be in the next gen consoles as well. If you get the game digitally, it should be about $59.99 in all platforms. If you get your game in your local stores, it should be about the same price range. It can be cheaper. Honestly, it all depends on where you look. So, is this game worth your money? In a personal opinion, even though that I've encountered so many glitches and bugs, I fairly freaking enjoyed this game. And weirdly enough, the majority of the time that I was playing, I really had good moments more than bad. And during my whole entire time playing, I completely had fun and enjoyed the game for what it is. So with that being said, I highly advise you guys to buy this game. This game is definitely worth your money. So that was my review. If you liked the review, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. I do reviews, videos, PvP matches, streams, and more. And if you haven't yet, please don't forget to follow me on my Facebook page and my Twitch account because I stream on those platforms as well. Everything should be in the description box below, and I will catch you guys on the next review.